I'm Justin Davis, and this is Hglrc's RC. What's up, guys? I'm Justin Davis. Today, Flywoo has a new release that I have had for some time. I had it before the release about 3 or 4 days ago. Today is May 5th. It's the last day that you can buy this one and get the free prop guards along with this quad. So I'll put the link down below for that. But most importantly, outside of prop guards, this is not a quad. It is a Hexarotor. It has 6 motors on here. They're all running these 40mm props. It is a 1.5mm shaft. So when you're going to buy props for this one, get the 4-blade props. They're a little bit brittle. I feel like they break a little bit easy, but they are ultra smooth, and the tune on this quad is great. So it has a lot of versatility. You can take this camera off. This is the SMO 4K with my ND16 filter on there. It already has a power option in the back for this, powering this camera through the drone, which is great. It can do cinema or it can do freestyle on 4S. So if you want to slow this quad way down, you can change the tilt of the camera to almost horizontal and get some really slow cinematic shots like fly-throughs. If you wanted to film somebody's house for real estate videos or use this little quad to get cinema style footage, that's what you can do. You can lower this camera, change this camera angle by pushing it forward a little bit with something behind it. And if you want to go faster, you can tilt it back a little more and bring the camera up, and then you can fly a pretty amazing freestyle. With the 6 motors on board, I feel like this is faster than most of the quadcopters that I've flown at this micro scale. So this is kind of cool that they came out with something so tiny, and it seems like, why would they do this? It's just a really kind of a unique little animal out there in our hobby. So I think that it's fun that they come with, mine came with a mount that fits my Insta360 Beta FPV SMO 4K camera. They also have a mount that will fit this little guy on there. You can put the Insta360 Go 2 on there, or the original Go, and have that right up front. And what's really crazy is on the scale, this guy is weighing around 150 grams with the 4S 525 on here. And I feel like that battery is about as big as I would fly on it. Anything around a 650 you can also fly. This little strap will actually accommodate a 650, but anything above a 650, it starts to have some weight to it. So if you're flying slower cinema stuff, you can fly a bigger battery. If you want to freestyle, go with something like a 450. A 4S 450 is the right choice for this size quad. But we have an ultra small 16x16 flight controller on here, and it looks like about it's a little larger space on the bottom. I had to get you some measurements for that for the ESCs, but the ESCs can handle up to 4S, and I didn't expect this to be 4S. So this is really versatile on the battery scale. So if you're a beginner, start out on 3S, and if you're an intermediate pilot already and you just want a really fun Hexarotor micro, fly this one on 4S on the 525. That's probably the perfect size battery for this power combination, and the power to weight ratio, it's actually really good. We're going to do some power loops with this quad. We're going to fly some freestyle, and we're going to fly some Hex Nano in the backyard. So let's go ahead and do the flight test, and after that we'll come back and we'll talk about this little guy on the bench and all the cool gear that Flywoo decided to put on their Hex Nano, the Firefly. So cute, and it flies really good. So we'll talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly on this one. Here we go. Alright guys, welcome back from the flight test. What do you think about that weight right there? With the 525 on there, 4S 525 and the SMO 4K, total takeoff weight is 153.1 grams. That is just super, super awesome. And the fact that it will cinema or freestyle is great. Now, I'm going to jump right into the things that I don't like about this quad. I'm going to turn the scale off. I love that it's under 200 grams for what this is. It is basically a palm-sized cinema rig if you want, and I feel like it flies faster than a lot of my quads that are this size. It's just super fast with that extra motor power there, and it freestyles great. Cinema or freestyle is great. The only thing that concerns me about this particular design is that yes, it is so small, and the frame itself, it appears to be super thin carbon fiber. As far as the total thickness of this unibody, it's very thin. I would say this is like 1.5 millimeter. It's very, very thin. So this is one thing to think about. I would suggest if you buy this and put this Hexarotor in your collection, it is so super unique and so super cool, but don't buy it without buying an extra unibody bottom plate, because I feel like these arms on this Hexarotor, they are very thin. So I noticed that right away. They have a lot of flex to them. So you see that? That's one thing to think about. If you crash pretty hard, it is a possible scenario that you're going to break one of these arms. And all of them feel to be about the same type of flexibility. So the front arms seem to be a little stiffer, but they're a little shorter, and that's why. So your longer arms in the back are probably the ones you're going to break if you go over really hard, or you just hit that perfect angle and you break an arm. So you're going to have to transpose all of this gear onto a new frame. I believe the new frames are already available from Flywoo, and again, they're saying that if you buy this one by May 5th that you're going to be able to get free prop guards. I have a feeling they're just going to ship prop guards with these to most people. Now again, these are the HQ 40 millimeter props, and I've flown these for years and years. I feel like these props, again, like another negative part of this quad is that maybe the props are a little bit brittle and they are very thin. So if you crash really hard in a forward crash, you're going to break a prop off, and then it will not fly just missing one blade. So it would be a wobbly mess and fall off a table if you're trying to launch off a table or something. But I love the fact that you can run two different cameras on this. You can run it 3 and 4S. 3S for the beginners, I feel like, is a great option, and it slows it down a lot. And they do have a mount for this one as well. The Insta360 they have a mount for, so you have a lot of versatility for what type of camera you can fly on this quad. But I didn't feel like flying the SMO 4K on here, even though it looks so big and it's a giant wind block, it seems like just an air brake, that it flies fine with this on there. It doesn't feel strange, which is great. So the power system on here is doing really well. We have 1202 Robo motors on here, and these are Flywoo branded. You can see there the Flywoo logo on the front. 1202.5, 5500 kV. And there's the 1202 5500. They're printed kind of small, but I'll see if I can zoom in and show you guys a little closer. Check that out. All the Flywoo motors that they make seem to be good quality for me. I haven't had a lot of problems with their motors, and I've flown just about all of their releases, pretty much all of them. But everything together, the whole design looks really nice. They have sort of that vertical mount capacitor there, 3 standoffs. So taking the top plate off was really easy. I actually had to take my top plate off to get to my TBS Nano receiver and bind it up. You've got your miniature Nano Immortal T antenna back there with that 5.8 antenna, and that's Flywoo branded, which is cool, and it's flexible. So if you crash, this is not likely to break off. It might come down and hit those props in the very back, which could be a thing. So that's another thing to look out for there. And I just kind of bend it up whenever I go to take off, and it stands up nice. And that's running 5.8. We don't have a DJI version of this quad yet, so that's one thing to consider. But I feel like the price point is fair. $159 for something that is kind of this unique is really a fun experience. If you've never flown a Hexarotor before, why not grab one? and start flying one just for the fun of it, it's, in my opinion, again, I just feel like it's faster than most of my little quads this size. But it comes with a few different receiver options. You can get the XM Plus on here, you can get Crossfire Nano RX, or you can get it PNP version. The PNP version is going to be the cheapest option for you. That's going to be around $159 on the website. And if you click on XM Plus, let's just see what that gets us up to. That gets us up to $170, so still under the $200 mark, and the more expensive receiver is going to be the Nano Crossfire, which is going to get us up to $190. So out the door price. And it looks like we can have a whole bunch of different options on here too. You can get an extra charger, 4Q there. Toolkit RC's chargers are okay. I like the M60 myself, but you can also add naked GoPro mount. It looks like for the 6 and 7, and the Insta360 Go TPU mount, SMO 4K. So it looks like the mounts are separate. They sent mine in the box with it. So depending on which camera you had, just add that to your cart. And again, they also have the iNav version, so I'll show you that real quick. That's around $179, and it comes with GPS on top, so that's also kind of cool. Check that out. That's pretty cool, right? A little GPS stack on the very top, and there it is with the prop guards. So you can also get it with the prop guards. And I feel like they should just include the prop guards with these, but it's kind of cool that you have return to home on something so small with that TBS Immortal T Nano antenna back there. With the right setup, it looks like we could go miles out. It would be interesting if we could run like some type of Lion setup on there, but the 18650s would be just huge on this quad, and that's probably not going to work for the future. But maybe if they made a little bigger one with GPS on there, that would be cool. Maybe like a little 2-inch version of this quad would be fun, or this Hex. I'm so used to saying quad, you guys. Here it is, it's a Hex. But we have another Hex coming up on the channel soon. I have a Dragonfly from iRC, and it is, I believe it was a 4-inch, but you're gonna see that coming up in the next couple days if I can get these guys to add the link online. Right now it is a prototype version, but I'm always bringing you guys new stuff, and if you like to subscribe on the channel, please do. This has been the review for my Firefly Hex Nano, which I think is kind of fun. And I was really surprised how well this little guy freestyles. It is really fast, and it will power loop. I feel like the guy from the Forged in Fire, it will kill, but this one, it will power loop. It's so much fun to fly. So thanks again for watching the channel, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the pure camera view of this quad, not just the stabilized footage. I just wanted to show you guys a true review with the actual onboard camera, so you could see how the tune is on this quad, because this is where you're going to see the tune. Up here, it's going to smooth everything out, so no cheating there. I wanted you guys to see what this Hex flies like. So keep calling it a quad, but it's a Hex. So thanks again for watching the channel, guys. Something new as always coming up again tomorrow on the channel, so please do subscribe, and check me out on my Patreon if you'd like to. I'm always making new videos for the FPV community. I really appreciate it, and thanks for watching my flight tests. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.